Good morning, dreamers. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, coming on with my announcements. Today is October 15th. I want to get straight to the announcements, okay? So, we are currently active in the hardship cash giveaway. We're just basically waiting for me to announce the hardship cash giveaway winner, and I should be doing that soon. I am starting the setup of your budget. So today we're going to be working on, this is by request. One of my dreamers asked for me to show them how to set up a budget. Well, initially when I did mine, I didn't just go straight to writing my budget. I wanted to set myself up so that I know where my money was going, what was important, what was not. Was there anything before I started my budget list that I could eliminate? So that's basically what I'm going to do today. I'm going to show you something I wrote out, but it's still more than just the writing out that you have to do. Okay? So, wanted to let you know that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Okay? So, what else? I'm breaking the system down, hoping this will help you move forward. So the way I'm doing, I'm going to show you what my list is, but this is a pre-list. It's not the actual budget list. This is a list to help you get started so you can see, and I'm going to break it down. I want to go into detail right now, but I'm going to break it down to you so you'll understand, okay? And then after we go over the pre-prep list, then I will be finishing up today with hidden money blocks. I'm only going to do one card today for that. Since we are talking about budgets, I want to see where the energy is at with our money. Is there anything that we need to work on and fix so that the energy of the energy of money can flow towards you, freely. Okay. And then we're going to do our new cards, our grateful heart cards. We're going to get some cards from here. And we're going to finish up with the positive affirmations. Okay? So just wanted to give you an idea of what's going on. And let's get right to it. Okay? I'm not going to try to be on here long. But, if I'm trying to explain something that needs to be explained thoroughly so you'll understand, then we may go over. You know what I'm saying? So, well, let's see what we can get done in what period of time, okay? So the list that I wrote out right here is on this paper. When I do the actual list that I want you to do, it will be on blank paper. I probably won't have the lines in the paper. So I want you to get an idea. So when I was writing this out for you, I want you to get in your mind based on your pay period, okay? A lot of people sometimes do monthly income and just take whatever they make bi-weekly or weekly and just pay the bill by the month. I want you to get a more active into your bills to see what's coming in when and so I want you to even look at dates. So I listed the bills based on priority, the most important bill. Okay? I started with that first. Most important meaning that if it gets shut off, it will affect your living. So the most important bill to me is always your rent or your mortgage. So if you own a house, you have a mortgage. If you're renting an apartment, you have rent. So that should be listed first. On this pre-bill, you're going to list your rent or mortgage first. That's the priority, okay? Then from there, you have electric, gas for your heat, water, sewer, and homeowners insurance or renters insurance. So naturally, if you rent, you won't have to pay water, sewer. You won't have to pay that because that's only for those people who own a home, and the sewer would only be if you don't have a septic tank. Because if you have a septic and you have well, then you don't pay for water or sewer because it's natural. But if you're in a city and you have a city water, city sewer, then these bills would be included, okay? Just like for rent. There are some people who are lucky enough to get a home where the electric is included or the heat is included. A lot of times I see heat, but I've seen some people who didn't even have electric bills. So if your heat is included, then you would not have gas. So you're going to write down the most important. But all of these are important, the ones that I wrote down. So if you have any of these, if you have electric, gas, water, or sewer, you need to put these on the list. Okay, but start with your mortgage. Now, if you paid off your mortgage, then you don't have that on the list. You just write down the other stuff that you have. But so if you're renting, you would write down how much you pay for your rent. Then if you have to pay your electric, you would write that down. If you're paying for your gas, you would write that down. Okay? So just to give you an idea, we're starting from the most important bill. Most important meaning that if you don't pay your rent, you will get evicted. You will be homeless. If you don't pay your electric, they're going to shut your electric off. You will be without lights. Lights is needed for your refrigerator. Lights is needed for a lot of stuff, just for you to be able to see. Okay? If you don't pay your heat in the wintertime, they will shut it off and you will be without heat. If you don't pay your your gas. So, and your electric is needed in the summertime, because if you run your air conditioning, then you want to make sure that you keep your house cool so you're not sitting up there and having a heat stroke because you don't have no air. Even if you run fans and you don't have an air conditioning, the electric is still needed. So we want to understand that we're writing down the most important bills first. Okay? Then for those who own a home, right after you write down your utility bills, you're going to write down your homeowner's insurance. A lot of homes require this. Now, if they don't require this, it still should be on there if you're paying it, okay? Now, renter's insurance. A lot of places will not rent to you if you don't have renter's insurance. So that should always be on here as a priority too, because you can lose your apartment if you don't pay your renter's insurance. So that should be on a priority. Once you write down all of those, then you're going to go next to food, because we need that to survive and to eat. So you're going to write down food, and then we want to know how much do you spend daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly on food. So depending on how you do it. The food is a little bit more, we want to get into the food a little bit more, because if you're living out of corner stores, meaning that you're not cooking at home, then you can downsize that to help your money. Because like literally, when we do this budget, okay, let's just say, and I forgot that part, that I also want you, let's stop here at the food. Before you start writing down your bills, you need to write down your total amount on a separate piece of paper, how much you actually have to work with. So if you get paid weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, you're going to write down your gross check. Net is net because of how much you actually get, not the gross. So you're going to write down the net amount that you get on your check weekly. Okay? Bi-weekly, monthly, whatever way you get paid. You want to write that down. So you'll know how much money you have to work with. Now, from time to time, we do have other things. You might have odd jobs that brings in money. You can include that. If you get help, you can include that, okay? I'm a casino person, so when I win, sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes I will include a portion of my winnings as a part to help with my bills, because, like literally, but a lot of times my winnings is for me, okay? So, like I said, it's not just a matter of you writing a budget list. It's a matter of you knowing what's going on. So you need to know how much money you're working with. That was important. I meant to mention that first, so I do apologize. You need to know how much money you're working with, because you want to know whether you are meeting your means or if you're living beyond your means. And when I say that, is meaning, do you have more bills or more money going out than you have coming in? So that's why you want to start with knowing how much money you're actually working with. Because when you know how much money you're working with, you know whether you have some money left over. Okay? So you want to make sure you write down on a separate piece of paper, not this one, but on another piece of paper, write down the total amount of money that you have coming in. Okay? Start with your job first, and then you can write down other things, like if you get a pension, if you don't have a job and you're getting Social Security, whatever way it is, whatever way you're getting your money, if you're in a fixed income, You write it down. If you get stipends from school because you're going to school, you should be getting, if you get financial aid, they give stipends. And you can write down how much money you have left over after you take care of your books and stuff, okay? And there's another way I can also help you on that, because when you get your stipends from school, you don't necessarily have to spend money on new books unless it's a new book required for your class. You can, they always usually have it where kids from the previous year are selling their books and they sell it for a discount, so you can save money, and that way more of that money is going back into your pocket. Okay? If you make your food and bring it to school with you, if you go, in class and you're not online, then if you make your lunch and bring it with you, you don't have to spend the money at the lunchroom. So that money that you would normally, if you was going to spend in the lunchroom, you could save for yourself. So just different ways that you can do things to bring back that money back to you, especially if it's money that's being spent unnecessary. And a lot of times, a lot of people eat out, and don't have no food at home. Okay? You want to make sure, and this is the way I look at it, before you can really say, I want to eat out, make sure you have food in your cabinets, food in your refrigerators. Because think about this. If something happens, like it was happening before where the prices of food was going up, inflation happens and you can't afford food. When inflation happens with the supermarkets, it also happens with the corner stores, with the fast food restaurants and stuff like that. So you want to make sure you have stuff at home. If you don't know how to cook, YouTube, social media is here. So there's really no excuse for anyone to say that they don't know how to cook, because they give you step by step. You can put the darn phone or your iPad or something up and watch them make the food step by step to learn how to cook. So there's no reason for you not to have food in your home. Okay? Okay, so let's get back to here. So after you write down your total amount of money that you actually have to work with, okay? Like I said, bills, fixed income, money that you get, if you got a side job, whatever it is, after you write down that, then you work on the list. Now, what I did up here was I put the date due right here. So I always want to know when this, whatever bill I'm doing, when it's due. So I look at my bill and I'll put the due date on there. So the due date goes here. Okay. And I list my bills by their due dates. So whatever is due first will be at the top. Okay. Well, if you're doing it per your mortgage is going to always be at the top because that's due on the first. No, right. Your mortgage is usually due on the first, but they give you your mortgage. You got a little leeway because with your mortgage, as long as you pay before month's end, it won't affect your credit. Okay. If you miss your grace period, then you'll have a late charge. Okay. Your rent is due by the first, but your rent, they only give you 5 days. So if you go over the 5 days, you'll have a late charge. Okay. And then some of these places, which I don't think it's right, but some of these places after 5 days will try to put you up for eviction. So that's why I'm saying mortgage and rent is the most important. So that stays at the top always. Okay. Your electric and gas, you can list those by the actual due date. So if your gas is due before your electric, you can put your gas up first. If your electric is due before your gas, you can put that up. If you're a homeowner and you have water and that's before any of these, you can switch them around. So your utilities is what you'll be listing by due date, okay? Not your mortgage. You can do your mortgage and rent first as always, okay? Because that's the most important. Okay, so after you do that, I always put the name of the bill. Then I put the last 4 of my account number. Now, if I need the whole number, I will keep the bill and write it out. Like, especially if I'm paying the bill that day, then I'll make sure I have it. Because a lot of times I pay online. I mail some of my bills, but I pay most of my bills online. Okay? It's free. So I take advantage of it being free. I write down, once I pay it, I write down my confirmation number, the date I paid it, how much I paid, and so forth. You want to put your total bill here. How much is your bill? What's the total amount of your bill? That's going to go here, how much you actually owe. Then you're going to put the amount that you're paying. Okay? Now, when we do this, remember, this is a pre-list. Okay? So when we do this, we start with like I said, we started with the most important bills because these bills will affect you if they're shut off or if you're evicted. Okay, so we start with that, but we also list the total amount due, so that, and then the amount we're actually paying, because your total amount might not be how much you're actually paying. If you have some leeway and you're trying to pay your bills, you're going to pay the minimum amount due so that they won't be coming after you. Okay. But if you can pay more, you'll pay more. Like, okay. So then after you list all of your others, you got homeowners insurance and renters insurance. Those are important. You can also list these along with this by due date. So if your renters insurance is due before your gas, electric, or water, when you renters insurance, you don't have water or sewer. So if your renters insurance is due before your gas and electric, unless you don't have these, then you would actually put this up before those, okay? And then once you do all of that, because you want to get an ideal of how much money you're spending in your most important, you're going to total that out, okay? You total out your total bills here. Then you're going to figure out how much do you spend daily, weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly on food. Okay, you're going to add that to the total up here. And then you still have to write out your necessities. So necessities like, I put necessities here, but if you have a car, we're going to drop the necessities below this. So if you have a car, okay, you live in a rural area, you need it could be on the necessities list. So we'll say the car payment, if you didn't buy your car outright and you have a car payment, then you need to put that on the list. Car insurance has to be on the list because you have to have coverage of your car. We can look into that. If you own your car outright and you really don't need full coverage, you can go with liability, which is cheaper. If you don't own your car outright and you're paying a car payment, most places want you to have a full coverage. You can go like a limited tort full coverage until you're able to pay full coverage if you want to cover your car fully. Okay. Then you want to, those are monthly. So car payment and car insurance is monthly. Okay. Life insurance would be last. So before we go into life insurance, we want to put necessities like personals. So you want to write down how much do you shop for your personal items, monthly, bi-weekly, whatever way. So like soap, deodorant, toilet paper. Yeah, it's a lot. We have a long list of things that we have to budget, because when you do your budget, you want to make sure that you're writing down everything that you need, especially if you're doing this monthly, so you'll know how much money is going out and how much money actually coming in. So once you do this, you write out your necessities list, your life insurance if you're paying for life insurance, all of that. Once you write out all this stuff and you total everything up, is the amount of money that you're paying out more than actually what's coming in? If you find that your total payments going out are more than what's coming in, you need to go back to your list and see where you can cut. If you're eating out too much, then you need to downsize and start eating at homes, okay? Life insurance. I mean, yes, we want this to cover us so if anything happens, but if life insurance is really not in your budget as of right now, then you could drop the life insurance until you're able to figure out a way to include it. A lot of jobs will include that, will let you take the life insurance out of your check so that that's not coming. It's still coming out of your money, but it's already taken out. So if you have a job where you can actually get the life insurance taken out that way and you don't need to pay out of your pocket outside of it, then you could do that, okay? Usually life insurance through the job, if you can find one, there's a way you can start with a lower payout amount, but at least have some life insurance and then work it up when you see your bills are evening out to where you can afford to have some money over, okay? As far as shopping, like I said, do you shop bi-weekly, weekly, daily, monthly? Do you need to shop all the time? So that's another thing you could do. Figure out a way to shop to where you can get the item, make sure you have the items you need, but buy them, like, for instance, when I want toilet paper, I try to buy larger amounts of toilet paper so I'm not having to go weekly or bi-weekly or even monthly for toilet paper. Soap, buy a bigger pack of soap so that, especially if it's something that you use a lot of, buy a 8 to 12 pack of soap instead of just buying a 4-pack or 2-pack. Okay? So there's different ways that you can maintain and balance. Food. If you're buying food and your food is costing a whole lot of money, are you buying strictly name brand foods that cost more? Can you find a food, another brand that is cheaper but still is good? Because you don't want to buy a brand that you don't like to eat, because that's just a waste. So buy a brand that is less expensive but will still give you the taste that you want. There's all, like I said, there's different ways to do this. This is like a pre-start, but you have to work this before you can do your budget. And I would advise you to really take time out to think about these things before you just write out a budget and say, I'm going to stick to the budget. Because if you don't know how much money you're paying out total versus the money that's coming in, that's going to cause confusion. You're going to be juggling bills, trying to figure out how to pay and not being able to pay. You want to, once you find out how much money you are totally paying out versus what's coming in, then you can help yourself find ways to get more money to cover those bills if it's more, or ways to downsize so that you can afford to pay your bills. Okay? So I hope that this helped. The pre-prep. This is a pre-prep list, like I said. You want to make sure that you take time out to do this, dreamers. This is very important, okay? Hopefully I didn't talk too fast and you understood. If you have any questions about my pre-prep list, please let me know. I will answer any questions that you have, especially if you don't have all those bills and you want another way. Just, in the comment section, comment about what questions you have and I'll work with you, okay? So let's go right over here. And while I'm doing this, the hidden money blocks, trying to find one card for us, I'm asking anyone new watching, if you would like to become a dreamer, please public subscribe so I can see you. That will help me verify you. Once you public subscribe, you want to comment on the video so I can welcome you to the channel. And then you also need to send your PayPal or Cash App to PoemsAndStoriesToRemember@gmail.com. Those 3 things are very important. If you do not send me your PayPal or Cash App, then you can't be a part of the cash giveaways. I have to have that information so that I'll be able to send you, when you win. Okay? And I verify ahead of time those who are part of the cash giveaway, whether they have that information on file. Okay? So that's very important. Okay? Now, when you comment, I will welcome you to the channel. When you send me the email, I will let you know I received your email and that I updated your PayPal or Cash App and information. Before any cash giveaway, I always verify to make sure that my dreamers are still subscribed. So that's why I ask you to public subscribe so I can see you. If I can't verify you, you will not be a part of that cash giveaway at that time. Okay? So participation is very important. So if you want to continue to be involved in the cash giveaways, you need to participate. Okay. So I got one. It popped out the other way, but I'm going to take it. So like I said, participation is very important. So when I do who am I, where am I, if you know the answer, please comment with that answer. When I ask questions, when I do my empowering questions, please respond to the questions. Participation. I look for participation. And I do have some contests that are based off of participation. So if you're not participating, then you won't be included in that cash giveaway. Okay? And so our first card for hidden money blocks, it says love life. This is the first time we got this one, so let me read it. Your love life is somehow causing you to get sidetracked and off balance. You can have it all. Seek a better balance between your work life and your love life. Take time to make yourself a priority and realize that you don't have to sacrifice your success to have love. Okay? So someone out there is struggling financially because their love life keeps interfering. Whatever's going on in your love life is keeping you depressed, and maybe you're not going to work, or you're more hanging around, you're being codependent, you're hanging around that person too much, and you're calling out from work. Okay, for whatever this is, you want to stop that because you want to have a balance of work life and love life. Remember, your work life is so that you can pay your bills and live, and your love life is yes, we all want to be in love and have someone in our life, but you still have to survive. You still have to work. You still have to survive. Okay, so whoever's experiences it, I hope you find a way to balance your love life. If it's someone toxic, please let that go. Let that go and let it stop interfering with your life as far as your work is concerned. Okay? Let's get some of the new cards. I'm going to take whatever it gives me. Oh, not all that, though. We got a bunch. But one, you know what? One fell out from beside the other ones. I'm going to take the one that fell out. And then I'm going to finish up with some positive affirmations. That one hit. Ooh, I got two of them. Hold on, y'all. So I see one card that we already had from before. And I got two that hit the floor. So I always take all these cards up right, so it's fine. Okay. So the Grateful Heart card says, gratitude to God makes even a temporal blessing a taste of heaven. Okay? Gratitude to God. So you want to show gratitude for the things that you already have. Whatever the Lord has blessed you with already, be grateful for that. Be grateful for your life. Be grateful for your strength. Be grateful that you wake up every day. That's being grateful for your life. Be grateful that you got to see another day. Be grateful for the strength to be able to go to work, maintain at your posture. If somebody's coming at you and you know that there's no reason for them to come at you, be strong and stand in your power, okay? So it says, "Oh, my strength to you, I sing praises for you. Oh, God, are my refuge, the God who shows me unfailing love." Okay? And that's Psalms 59:17. So Psalms 59:17. Yeah. And then we have the card we had before, rise and slay. You get up in the morning and you go about your day, you slay it. Take care of everything you need to take care of. Work towards those short goals, those long-term goals. Find yourself in a place to make your dreams possible and make them come true. Okay? Keep believing in yourself. Always keep believing that the things that you want for you are for you and you can get them. Okay? Don't doubt yourself. So this came like this, nothing impossible, but I read them upright. But I'm going to let somebody know that all things are possible. Never believe that you can't achieve something, okay? All things are possible. Keep up the good work. For those who are putting in the work and working towards their goals and finding them, checking the short-term goals off and long-term goals off, keep up that good work. You're gonna achieve what you want as long as you believe it, okay? And then remember, you are your choices. You are your choices. You are the guide, the leader of your choices. So whatever choice you make is based off of you. Okay? Remember that. Okay, dreamers, thank you so much for allowing me to share the pre-prep list for our budget and to go over that in depth. Thank you for allowing me to share the Grateful Heart cards and one hidden money block and our positive affirmations for today. Bye, dreamers.